Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today. I have extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support, and I am so pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. We truly look forward to supporting your professional growth in this incredible industry. Now, today, we're going to dive into a really critical topic. How do you take a single, high-performing partnership and strategically scale it? How do you turn one victory into a repeatable system for success? Let's find out. Here's our roadmap for this session. We're going to walk through 5 key stages. We'll start by building a blueprint for replication. Then, we'll look at the different pathways for expansion. After that, we'll cover the crucial step of adapting for new markets, then how to govern that growth. And finally, we'll see how it all comes together to turn a single success into a powerful system. So, first things first. Our journey begins right at the foundation. Before you can even dream about expansion, you have to get really good at replication. And that means you have to deeply, deeply understand what made your original partnership work so well to begin with. And the key to this is a concept you might be familiar with, something emphasized right at Europe Hotel School London. It's called learning capture. It's a really powerful idea. Essentially, it's the disciplined art of documenting the how and the why behind your success. The goal is to create a model that isn't just a fluke, but something you can reliably repeat again and again. So how do you actually do a learning capture? Well, it really breaks down into 3 very clear steps. First, you identify the core value drivers. What really makes this partnership special? What makes it profitable? Second, you document all the key processes, the day-to-day nuts and bolts that make the thing run smoothly. And third, you codify the governance. That's the rules, the roles, the decision-making frameworks that keep everybody on the same page. Do those 3 things, and you've got your blueprint. Okay, so you've got this solid blueprint in your hands. Now we get to the really exciting part, expansion. But as we're about to see, growth isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. You've got some important choices to make.
Broadly speaking, there are 2 main paths you can take. On one side, you have scaling up. Think of this as going deeper. You're increasing the scope, or maybe adding more services with the partners you already have. On the other side, there's scaling out, and this is about going wider. You take your successful model and you replicate it in new cities, new countries, or totally new markets.
Now here is the absolute crucial point. Scaling is not just a copy and paste job. It doesn't matter if you're scaling up or scaling out. Any move you make demands a really rigorous reassessment. Do you have the right resources in place? Is your team still totally aligned on the goals? Taking that deliberate pause to check is what makes for sustainable, long-term growth. And this brings us to a really fundamental question, right? You've documented your success, you've chosen your growth strategy, but can you honestly take a model that works perfectly in, say, London and just drop it into Tokyo or Dubai and expect the exact same results? Well, the answer to that question, of course, leads us to our next critical phase, adaptation. A successful blueprint is just a guide. It is not a rigid set of commands. To have any chance of success in a new environment, that blueprint has to be flexible. And when you're adapting, there are a few huge factors to consider. You have to analyze the cultural nuances. For instance, a service style that feels premium and attentive in one culture might feel totally intrusive in another. You have to navigate different regulatory landscapes, understand what local consumers expect, and of course, you've got to size up the local competition. Your blueprint has to be tweaked to fit these local realities. So, as you successfully replicate and adapt your partnership model across different markets, a new challenge is going to pop up: complexity. How do you maintain that level of quality and consistency across a growing, sprawling network? This is where having strong governance becomes absolutely non-negotiable. This table gives you a great idea of how those abstract ideas of governance are put into real-world practice. So, to maintain your brand standards, you might conduct joint quality audits. For financial oversight, you use shared reporting dashboards so everyone's looking at the same numbers. For data security, you need unified protocols. And to measure success, you make sure everyone is working towards the same aligned key performance indicators, or KPIs. This framework is literally the glue that holds your entire scaled network together. And that brings us to the culmination of our entire strategy. When you follow these steps, when you replicate, choose how to expand, adapt, and govern, you achieve something incredibly powerful. You move way beyond just a single point of success. And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. This is what it's all about. Scaling partnerships is how you transform that one-off,
isolated win into repeatable, predictable, systemic growth for your entire organization. It literally becomes a part of your company's DNA.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you have this framework, the question isn't if you'll come across a successful idea in your career, but what you'll do to make it grow. As future leaders in hospitality, the challenge is turning that one-time win into a system for lasting success. So, which partnership will you scale first?